14 days. Yeah, well, I had a 14-day experience.
2 weeks.
So I took my Apple Watch into Bondi Apple Store.
Oh, that's special.
Yeah, and I wanted to get the battery
The gift
replaced.
that keeps on giving.
Oh, I want to get the battery replaced. So I thought, you don't check these things up. You expect like a, $3 trillion company to be able to change the battery in a watch.
You would think.
You would think. So you go book an appointment, do it the proper way, go in. And then the person's like, this is the lead up, is like, whenever it was a couple of weeks ago, that'll take 5 to 7 business days.
Yeah.
Oh,
which essentially is 2 weeks. When they say 7 business days, that's 2 weeks, essentially.
So I go, well, no. And then they send me a thing, how was that all for you? And I said, that was crap. And then the manager, someone they call, one thing I'll say about Apple employees, or two things I'll say about Apple employees in the service retail, sort of the service retail element or whatever, is that one is their names are fake. They have like every shift has a Penelope, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so when you're like, oh, I want to speak to that person, like it's just...
You have to know which day of the week or the specific date, because whoever was playing Penelope on that day.
People. It's hard to sort of...
Creates that little buffer.
It does. It creates special barriers,
that's it.
Little buffer.
Special buffer.
And then they called me up and sorry about that. Yeah, they should have told you. Right, so it's their fault. Right? They should have told. And Apple always does this. What they'll do is they'll blame the person before them. They'll blame someone else. Someone else's fault. Yeah, it was somebody else's fault. Basically, that's a very Apple thing, like from their employees, like in retail, especially service retail and stuff. So then, they always try to blame something else, make it your fault, somebody else's fault. So in this case, it was the person before's fault, because it was. And then they actually were like, oh yeah, it's crazy. We don't know why 5 to 7 days. It's unbelievable. So and they said, well, what they should have said to you, and I mean, this is a terrible thing. This is, is that you should buy one while you're waiting.
To avoid disappointment.
Yeah, so you have one while you're waiting, because you bought it, and then you've got 14 days if you wish, like to bring it back, 2 weeks to bring it back. But you do have 7 days. So, and you do have, now this is interesting, you just look at how all this is designed. So you hand in a watch for a battery replacement, but a battery replacement takes 5 to 7 days, business days.
Yeah.
Right, which is different to 7 days. So you then get, then the solution, what they say to you is that because they take so long for some reason, you then have to buy one.
A
temporary one. And you have 2 weeks to return it, but they only give you 7 days of Apple Care. So if you so much as fucking breathe on it after 7 days, then you're going to be liable.
That's it. You got to pay the price.
You got to pay the price. So you don't really have 14 days. You actually have 7 days.
Yeah.
But that 7 days is different to 7 business days. So
because that's 7 days from the moment you get it. Yeah. I get you.
So they don't really sync up at all. So I bravely held on to mine for an extra additional little moment, and I took it in on Friday and to give it back and say, thanks. And they hadn't yet. So that's that part of it. So I went in. I said, no worries, I'll do that. I bought a fucking Apple Watch SE for $400, and I had it for the 7 days. And so that was on the Wednesday, and then I got a text on the Wednesday evening, and then a text on the Thursday. On the Friday, quite early in the Friday, reasonable time. Oh, yep, we've found that totally. Yep, we're going to replace that for you. Good times, and that'll be on its way. I'm like, great, well, that makes sense. So that's from Wednesday to Friday. So that gives them like till, Wednesday or Friday this week, just past, like literally yesterday. And so the 5 business days comes around, Wednesday, and nothing.
Oh,
and then and then the 7 business days comes around. Nothing at all. So I take my watch back in, the $3.99, and I get my money back before I freaking damage it or something.
It runs out, yeah.
And I say, I need to speak to someone about manager or someone. Just want to have a chat and just follow up on this, because apparently, So I go and sit down, and they bring out this person who clearly, from a very immediate moment, does not want to be there. Reminds me of like a certain police officer did not want to be there. So then I'm the problem, because they don't want to be there. I'm the bad guy immediately. They're just looking at me like, what the fuck am I doing here?
What am I doing?
I'm like, well, I was told that and it's 7 business days, and where is it?
Oh, put on the spot.
No, well, that's not true. That's not right.
Oh,
the last thing
corrected,
the last thing was wrong information. So I'm like, no, I was told that. No, well, no, it's not. That's no, well, I was. And then she's like, well, but you're not letting me talk. I said, well, you just keep telling me something's not true.
Yeah.
So why am I going to let you keep lying to me? I'm just going to keep saying, hey, you're lying to me. As soon as you lie to me, I'm not going to let you complete the lie. And she goes, no, the 5 to 7 days is a little bit of a guideline more, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get you.
Because I said, well, you're a bitch. I said,
it's sort of like the average mean of how long it takes.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. And I said, well, no. And I said, but over the 5 to 7 business days, I said, actually, no, Apple hasn't honoured their agreement.
No, fallen short.
I want a refund. Unacceptable.
Refund? Buy a new one.
Well, no, like just, I'm not paying for this freaking battery replacement, leaving it. So she says, oh, no, actually, we've got 14 days.
To complete completed in.
After which then our service guarantee is actually 14 days, not 5 to 7 days, as they tell you. That's actually not true.
Well, hang on.
It's 14.
So the salespeople are allowed to lie to you.
Yes.
But in truth, this is the actual now.
Apparently.
Oh,
but now,
okay.
well, so what's interesting about this is not in business days. This is just 14 days.
Yeah.
I made sure I listened quite clearly, and she made sure she waited until like a child like forced me to stop speaking, and then so she could complete her like little patter.
The spiel.
And we had to like sit in this little fucking stupid silence mode, which was like a fucking
The stare off.
the stare off. Yeah, it was like the most stupid situation and most pathetic response from an Apple employee, and just like actually still. So actually, here's the go. It doesn't take a $3 trillion company half an hour to change a watch battery. Not 5 minutes. Not half an hour. Not a day. Not the next day. Not 5 business days. Not 7 business days. 14 days apparently.
Yeah.
2 weeks to change a battery.
Backlog.
So many batteries need changing.
So many batteries need changing. They have a backlog of 2 weeks.
Like actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now 2 weeks, and she said it's on the 16th. So literally Wednesday. We are Saturday night.
Yeah.
I'm actually expecting. I mean, I don't give a fuck because like I'm happy with the watch I have. Like I don't need like that. You know that if they give it back to me. And now this is the next thing. So the next likely thing that Apple's going to pull. Well, now they've got actually access. They've got your property.
Yeah.
Do they give it back?
Wow. Good question.
What if I requested my property back? That it's unacceptable. They're like they've actually they don't want it
Halfway
back.
through pulling it apart.
Well, I mean, the amount of time it takes them to pull it apart. I'm surprised there's not breadcrumbs and fucking bit of mustard sauce in there. From the few lunches and outings it had. I just 2 weeks. I don't even know what to say. Because it's like this.
Well, it sounds professional.
I could go online right now, right? And I could order a custom build of a Mac Mini. I could say just get with a slightly different
and have
RAM
it
or
in
something.
2 to 3 business days.
Yeah, barely business days.
Well, in the afternoon.
You'd order on Friday, and it'll be on Shenzhen and like on a plane and to Australia like by Monday.
Yeah,
maybe Tuesday at the latest. And yet a watch is 2 weeks.
Maybe it would have been cheaper to fly over to Hong Kong and then hand them the watch, get them to repair it, and then give it back to you, and then fly home.
So go to base.
Yeah, go back to base, mate. Go straight to the factory. Just go, hey, you guys know how to do the batteries on these? I'll flick your fitty to change it for me.
Just flick your
fitty. Yeah, flick your fitty.
I reckon if you went to the factory...
Bypass the bullshit.
I reckon if you went into Shenzhen or wherever it is and where they're making Apple Watches and you had a fitty...
They do it.
Well, I reckon they just... You wouldn't just... No, you'd get a box.
You'd probably get a brand new watch for fitty.
You'd get a fucking box.
You get a box brand new watch for fitty.
Maybe in the background, like what Apple has been doing over the last 10 years. Because, there is they have this thing called Daisy, which is meant to disassemble iPhones and turn them into parts.
The pull apart thing, yeah.
So surely, and that was pretty elegant, like maybe in the background, like all this mean talk, they've actually just been preparing, and like the developer conference this year, they'll just whip out, like maximum sort of...
productivity tools.
Well, robotics. They just go, like today we're going to talk about like the next level of what we're going to have to do to develop our products and to respond to these changes. We're going to actually unveil what we've been working on for the last 10 years, and it's like full robotic.
iRobot.
You thought we were working on a car, but actually we weren't working on cars.
You thought we were working on iBong, but we're actually working on iRobot. Yeah.
Well, I think Apple would go for more of a plant. Like I don't think that they would. I think if they're going for a robot, like sure, maybe into the homes and things, but some people are actually like on that level of it, just questioning whether this is like a sort of the AI and everything. Apple's kind of really like fumbling all over the place. It's so sort of geared towards one thing that
it's lost focus in the bigger picture. Yeah. And that happens. Like it does. That's part of just being overconfident, I guess.
Yeah. But
look at anything where they've been overconfident. You know what I mean? Like it's normally ended up badly. Yeah.
Microsoft's had to pivot, on a couple of occasions. I've had to pivot. I think it's like a dead end.